So you've decided to join the brand new guild you've heard so little about, House Dimir. House Dimir might be out of the shadows, but they're still up to their old tricks, with a new ability called Surveil. When you surveil in, you look at the top end cards of your library. You then put those cards back on top of your library in any order, or into your graveyard, or some combination of both. Let's get started with some creatures that have Surveil. First up, Doom Whisperer. This card is just bonkers. 5 mana for a 6/6 with flying and trample, and Surveil 2 if you pay 2 life. That's it. That's the only downside. You have to pay 2 life to Surveil. So good. This card's a bomb. You can play any black deck. Just wrecks house. Yeah. Dream Eater, 6 mana for a 4/3 with flash and flying. And the fact you get to Surveil 2 when it enters the battlefield and bounce a creature of your opponent's control. This thing does so many things. I mean, the toughness kind of hurts for 6 mana because it can die to a lot of things, but it's also going to hit hard with 4 power. So yeah, this is another bomb. Not as good as Doom Whisperer, but you're not going to cut from any blue deck. Next we have the best card in the set, House Guildmage. 2 mana for a 2/2, helps you with combat by keeping one of their creatures tapped. So, playing against Selesnya, their convoked creature, now it won't untap. Or late in the game, because Surveil 2, just help you dig for whatever answer you need or another creature. Great little card, early game and late game. Also was my preview card. City Watch Sphinx, 6 mana for a 5/4 flyer. I'll play that all day. And then when it dies, you use Surveil 2? Yeah, sweet, thank you. I didn't need that, but thank you very much. Card's so good. Speaking of flyers with a Surveil, Watcher of the Mist, 5 mana for a 3/4. Not great stats, but still doesn't die to a lot of things. And when it enters the battlefield, Surveil 2. So you have to wait for it to die, get it right off the bat, and it's at common, so get a couple of these. Pretty good. Nightveil Sprite, little cheap flyer, only hits for 1, but when it does attack you, just Surveil 1. So play this early, you're going to be attacking, not doing too much damage, but that's not really why you're playing it. You're doing it for the Surveil, and it's probably going to get through a couple of times just because early flyer. Whisper Agent, 3 mana for a 3/2 with flash. So basically you can use this as a kind of kill spell. They attack, you don't have anything on the board, you play this, kills their creature. He's probably going to die most of the time, but you also get to Surveil 1 when he enters the battlefield. Dimir Informant, not the best creature, blocks well, but you do get to Surveil 2 when it comes to play, so I like that. All right, now let's talk about the creatures that care about Surveil. First, Dimir Spybug. 2 mana for a 1/1 flyer. Not excited by that, but it has Menace, which also not excited about that. But +1/+1 whenever you Surveil. Okay, that could be interesting. I feel like this is more of a draft card to build around, basically, to get the Surveil deck, because in, sealed, you don't know how much Surveil you're getting. So I say if you have enough, definitely play this, but if you, only have 2 or maybe 3 Surveil cards, don't play this guy. He's just gonna be a 1/1 most of the time. Same thing with Whispering Snitch. Really cares if you have Surveil, so if you don't have enough, don't play him. He's not worth it. And I also don't even like the ability that it's only the first time each turn. If it was every time, that'd be amazing. So this, you're like playing your sorcery Surveils or creatures, and then waiting till your opponent's turn to play your instant. So it's a little weird, but I could see it getting just, incidental damage and you getting life could be really good. Darkblade Agent, I really like this one. 3 mana for a 2/3, that's not exciting. But, you can attack, they don't block, you Surveil, you get to draw a card. They do block, you get to kill their creature. So either way, all good. Blood Operative, this little guy is gonna die all the time, but you will gain some life, and you can Surveil and pay that 3 life that you gained from him to get him back to your hand. So he's gonna come back, just attack and die, basically. So vicious cycle. Lazav the Multifarious. I mean, he cares about what other creatures you have, so if he's your best card, then you're a little bit out of luck. But if you have another good card like Doom Whisperer, hey, now you have 2, because he's just going to copy whatever's in your graveyard. He's always your best creature in the graveyard, and that's fine. Also, you get to Surveil 1. Etrata the Silencer. So 4 mana for a 3/5, that's not very impressive, but its ability is crazy. So it can't be blocked, so you're going to hit your opponent no matter what. And when you do, you get to get rid of one of their creatures. That's great. Yeah, it has to go back to your library, but that's basically 4 mana, suspend to do 3 damage and destroy a creature. I'll play that. If it's 5 mana, I could say it being too much, but the 4 mana just makes it really sweet. Thief of Sanity, 3 mana for a 2/2. This is basically Nightveil Spectre, because it's flying, it's a 2/2, and when it does combat damage, you get to just play from their deck, and that's always fun and stupid, and I love that card. Nightveil Predator, even though it has a hard mana cost to cast, it's such a good card. I mean, 4 mana for a 3/3 flyer. I'll play that, sure, why not? Death Touch, that doesn't really matter too much, but I'll take it. And then Hexproof. So this thing is just untouchable, killing so many things. Oh, love this card. Passwall Adept. 2 mana for a 1/3, that's an okay blocker. But the fact that it can make, multiple creatures unblockable, that is great late game. That just wins you games right there. I mean, you could play this guy and then make something unblockable and just win the game. Muse Drake, not the most exciting card. 4 mana for a 1/3 flyer is not good. But you get to draw a card, and I'll play that. And there's always ways to pump them up or something, so yeah, it's fine. Hired Poisoner, 1 mana for a 1/1 Death Touch. Play those for days. I mean, Death Touch is great in sealed, because if this comes down early, you can just attack because they probably won't block. And then say it comes down late game and they have a bomb that's on the ground. A lot of times people just will not attack because they don't want to kill their bomb. But it's like, just attack me. That's what you should be doing. But they don't, man. Hey, I like it. Midnight Reaper, fine little card. He draws you cards, he loses a little bit of life, but that's okay. And hey, if you play him and he dies, you did draw a card, lose a life. So totally worth it. Plaguecrafter, love this guy. Kind of removal, but not really, because your opponent gets to pick with a sacrifice. So it's going to be their worst creature no matter what. But also, could be a planeswalker, or they might just discard a card. Either way, you can play him and sacrifice him himself if you don't want to get any of your other good cards on the board. Crawl Swarm. This card, I don't know about so much, just because, yeah, it's a 4/1 flyer, which is nice, hits hard, but it dies to everything, and it's 5 mana. And its ability only returns to the hand, so you're discarding a creature card to get this back to your hand. I mean, I'd rather just go right on the battlefield. All right, let's talk about removal. A lot of removal at common, so it's really nice. First, we got Artful Takedown, 4 mana. So a little costly, but it does have 2 abilities, -2, -4. So it won't kill everything, but will kill most things. And then tap down target creature, which is nice if you are able to kill something, then tap down another creature, just get in for a really good attack. Next we have Capture Sphere. This is basically how blues removal works. Usually it's Claustrophobia, and it's 3 mana. This is 4 mana, but it does have Flash, so that's very nice. Tap something down, keep it tapped down. Dead Weight, super cheap, kills most things, well, we'll say about half the things in this format. And if you're just going to attack, something happens, you don't kill a creature, this -2/2 could just kill it outright, so. Deadly Visit, a little high at 5 mana, but you're still going to play that. Sorcery speed, so also kind of slow, but what's nice is it kills everything, and Surveil too. Gotta love that. Now this one I really like, the best removal, Price of Fame. 4 mana, instant, Surveil 2, so it's got all the other stuff, just better. Destroy target creature, and if that creature is legendary, it costs 2 less. So it could cost 2 mana to kill something legendary. That's crazy. And last we got Severed Strands, not the best removal. It's only 2 mana, so that's nice. Sorcery speed, kind of slow. And you have to sacrifice something, so that's never fun. But you do get to gain a little life, and it destroys anything. So, not the best, but also very playable. Now let's talk about some Demure Spells. Notion Rain. This is just a great little card to dig into your library. Surveilling 2, drawing 2. That's 4 cards deep. Love it. Thought Erasure. I don't think you play this card. I don't like these type of effects. Yes, this can get anything except for land, but it's still just not worth it to me. You do get to Surveil 1, which is nice, but just don't like these effects too much in limited. Sinister Sabotage. It's basically cancel with Surveil 1, but cancel is always fine in sealed. I mean, a hard counter is always great in sealed because, early game, maybe it takes them off tempo. Late game, you counter their bomb. Unexplained Disappearance. Bouncing creatures for 2, I love that. The upside of Surveilling 1 is always nice. Connive and Concoct. The Connive part, I don't know how often that's going to matter. 2 power or less is very low. But Concoct, that is amazing. That is just, Surveil 3 is pretty deep, and then it can be any creature in your graveyard, so it doesn't have to be something you surveilled. It could be something from earlier that you surveilled or died. Discovery Dispersal, more surveilling, drawing cards for only 2 mana. Love that. Then the Dispersal, you're basically bouncing their best creature, and they have to discard a card. Could be that card if they have no cards in your hand, so kind of removal almost. Chemister's Insight, 4 mana, draw 2 cards at instant speed. Yeah, I'll definitely play that. And then Jumpstart, heck yeah. Love this card. Radical Idea, 2 mana, draw 1 card. That's not as good, but still not bad. And you get to Jumpstart, so technically it's 4 mana for 2 draws, I guess, right? Disinformation Campaign. This card I'm not too excited about. I don't think you play this. It's When you read it, it seems like, yeah, this is really good. I can keep playing it. But it's just an enchantment. If it was a creature, sure, but I just don't think this does enough. I think it's way too slow, even for sealed. Dimir Locket, you play all the Lockets. They're amazing for fixing. And late game, they draw you 2 cards, which is impressive. Now let's talk about some cards I think are just bad. Mnemonic Betrayal. So this card, I think, it looks like, oh wow, this is awesome. I can get their best creature in their graveyard. And technically that's true, but they might not have any good creatures in their graveyard or any good spells in their graveyard. And this just does nothing. So I think it's going to sit in your hand most of the time, just waiting for you to use it. And you could be dead before you even get to. So just don't think it's worth it. Unmoored Ego. This card is not a limited card. There's no point in this. You're never going to get 4 cards with the same name. Just don't even bother. Drowned Secrets. Mill's not going to work. Sorry. Especially when it's only blue spells. Like, no. That's half my deck. That's not my full deck. So sorry. Not going to happen. Enhanced Surveillance. It seems like you want this in Demure for Surveillance, but I just don't think it's good enough. I mean, you would have to have it come down super early and have just a bonker Surveil deck to really get most value out of this. If this comes down late, it's not going to do anything for you. You could shuffle your graveyard to your library if you really needed to, but yeah, I just don't think this does enough for a card. Guild Summit, no. No, do not play this card. This is just so pointless. Narcomoeba, yeah, it could be free, but even then it's still not worth it for a 1/1 flyer. Creeping Chill, no, do not play this card. This is 4 mana to not do enough, basically. 3 damage, you gain 3 life. That sounds like a big swing, but it's not. Maybe for 2-headed giant you play this, but even then, that's still not very exciting. Gruesome Menagerie, just you're never going to get all 3 creatures. Maybe you will, but in sealed, that's going to be even harder than it would be in draft. Even with draft, I don't see you doing that. And it's probably still not going to be worth it for 5 mana. Vicious Rumors, yeah, it costs 1 mana, but it doesn't do anything. Its abilities are just do not impact anything. So don't play this because it just doesn't do enough. Thoughtbound Phantasm, you would think in a Surveil deck this would be good, but it's too slow. 1 mana for a 2/2 defender, that's fine. That could die pretty easily. And then you have to Surveil, then you have to get this up, then you can finally attack. It's just, in sealed, it's going to be hard to get a Surveil deck that will be efficient enough to get this going every time. So most of the time, it's just going to be a really big defender, which is okay, but I don't know, not excited by it. Now let's talk about some sideboard cards. Selective Snare. So this you sideboard in if you're playing against tokens or something. It's really hard because it's not really a tribal set. So this is mainly against Selesnya for tokens. Devious Cover-Up. So I loved hard counters and sealed, but this one's 4 mana, which is a little too much. And for the extra mana, you're not really getting anything. It's just shuffling 4 cards in your graveyard onto your library. So who cares? Disdainful Stroke. So this is a sideboard because maybe they don't have anything that's 4 or greater, or they don't have enough, nothing that's worthy of a counter. So you sideboard this in, see if they have any bombs that are high cost, then you put it in, but don't just mainboard this. Mephitic Vapors. This card's fine, but I feel like you want to wait to see if they're a token or a Boros deck or something. Just something with a lot of low toughness because it can hurt your deck, of course. And maybe, they have all kinds of high toughness stuff and this does nothing. So Ritual of Soot. This one you want to see if they have low converted mana cost creatures because, it could hurt your deck. And late game, this doesn't do enough, I feel like. If they're a token deck, yeah, because that wipes out all tokens. But that's why it's a sideboard card, because you really need to see what kind of deck it's going against. All right, that does it for Dimir. And I think this is probably the best guild for sealed. Surveil is an amazing mechanic. It's just really feels pushed for this. It doesn't need any setup. It just works on its own. And it works with 2 other guilds. It works with Golgari for the Undergrowth, and it works with Izzet for Jumpstart. Already off to a great start there. And if you're going to be playing 3 colors, I'd say the best is Golgari. You have Cardinal Troll, which cares if you have creatures in your graveyard, so it can get bigger. Awesome. Golgari Finebroker, if you surveilled an awesome thing that you really want back. Hey, now you can. Molder Hulk, not the best card, but can work with Surveil. If you get some creatures in there, it makes them a little cheaper. Same with the Lurcher here. He can get bigger for every creature you have that you've surveilled. Necrotic Wound. I think this works best with Golgari. It's a little bit harder with Dimir, but if you have a bunch of Surveil, could work. And if you're doing Izzet, basically you're just trying to get Jumpstart cards, and It's hard because with jumpstart cards, you want to play them have them go to the graveyard so you can play them again. With Surveil, you're only going to play them once, which is fine because it's still kind of like a second hand, but you're not getting the full value, which kind of hurts, but isn't too bad. It's still also, I think Golgari is just the best. All right, thank you so much. Keep an eye out for my other Guilds of Ravnica pre-release guides in the future. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, booster_tutor, and see you next draft. This program brought to you by viewers like you.